this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare two comfortable and fantastic wireless gaming headsets. The Corsair HS80 RGB wireless, seen here with its subtle RGB lighting, flip to mute microphone and other highlights, and the Logitech G Pro X wireless. Both these headsets are interesting because they're basically comparable for a number of reasons, not least of which is similar comfort and awesome style. So I'm going to talk to you about what these headsets are like to use, the features and facets, and what makes them appealing, and also which is my preference. Now, I've unboxed and reviewed both these headsets separately, and I recommend checking out those videos to hear the microphone capture quality and also to find out more, including a view of the software. But in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the various features of them and why they're nice. Now, the Corsair HS80 comes with an interesting setup that includes Corsair's Slipstream wireless dongle, a USB-C cable, and a Dolby Atmos license, and that's how it gets its virtual surround sound via Dolby Atmos. You'll also see an interesting design setup here that include turnable ear cups on an interesting headband setup with aluminium frame that includes a headband style design similar to SteelSeries setup. So it's an adjustable headband, and I'll show you more of that in a minute. And the headband itself, the outer headband, doesn't actually extend in the normal way, but instead it just works with that headband. It also has a flip to mute microphone, which has some fantastic capture quality. And as I said, check out the review to hear that, but it's one of the best mics on a headset that you can purchase, and a really good one with a rich sound and a good bit of noise cancellation. And it also has an indicator, as you can see, to let you know when it's muted. Now, the G Pro X wireless was one of my favorite wireless headsets. Affordable, comfortable, and really good looking. It comes with a USB dongle, USB-C charging cable, detachable microphone, a carry case, and as you can see, some extra ear cups. And those extra ear cups were one of the things that appealed to me, but also just the overall sort of aesthetic of this headset. It's a very nice looking headset, sort of retro styling to it, but a strong aluminium frame and brushed outer with the Logitech logo on it. Has that light speed wireless connectivity using this dongle. Worth noting that both these headsets do best on PC. They're really designed to do well on PC. And the G Pro X wireless uses DTS Headphone X 2.0, and that's how you get the surround sound on that. This headset has a detachable microphone, and it uses a blue voice technology, which allows you to adjust the quality of the microphone on the fly within the software. Check out the review to find out more about that and hear the differences that that can make. And again, as I said, USB-C to USB-A charging cable that plugs into the headset quite easily. Now, on PC, these headsets obviously do very well, and that's what they're designed for. In terms of sound, they both deliver really good surround sound, positional audio. The HS80 uses a Dolby Atmos to deliver great sound that way, and the Logitech has that DTS Headphone X 2.0. It also goes up to 20,000 Hz in terms of frequency response, whereas the Corsair headset is capable of up to 96 kilohertz sample rate and 40,000 Hz frequency response, so it's actually a better audio range. Now you can see a look at the setup of the strap on this headset. Quite an unusual design, very similar to SteelSeries. As I said earlier, you can adjust it with the Velcro straps on the inside, so you can make it smaller or larger. I found this headset to be really comfortable. A very nice fit on the head, but I will say that I did have to extend it to its full length. And I think if you have a large head, then you might struggle with it because you can't really make it massive. However, I don't have a tiny head either, so I think you probably won't have a problem with it. And the comfort itself is actually magnificent. It comes with these cloth style ear cups, which are incredibly soft, like little bits of cotton wool on your ear. They're very comfortable to wear. As you can see though, you cannot remove the ear cups, so that could be a problem for the future. But as it stands, when I first started using it, one of the most comfortable headsets I've tried recently, and comparable with the G Pro X wireless, which I'll talk to you about in a minute as to why. But you can see they're ear shaped and they're very soft, and makes it the most comfortable Corsair headset available, or at least that I've tested. Much more comfortable than the Corsair Virtuoso, for example. Very soft ear cups, nice and deep, large enough to not cause any problems with pressure on the ears, which is obviously very important. A very nice outer design with RGB lighting on the Corsair logo. And as I said, that flip to mute microphone has an LED ring to let you know when it's muted. Now the G Pro X Wireless is a very stylish headset with a really nice aesthetic to it. And that in the box includes two different ear cup designs. You have these cloth velour style ear cups, which are incredibly soft, and I really liked these when I first got them out of the box because it was very similar to the Astro 50, which is one of my favorites. But if you're not a fan, there's faux leather ear cups also included as standard, so not an extra purchase, and you can see the difference between them here. What you will notice, however, is that they aren't very deep. They are a bit shallow, so that could be a problem if you have large ears that stick out from the side of your head. But I found them to be quite comfortable and a good fit. Obviously, the faux leather blocks out a lot more external noise than the cloth ones, but they're not as comfortable. But as you can see, they are really easy to fit on. There's just lip around the outside of the driver that hooks around the outer part of the ear cups, and it's dead simple to install and really straightforward. Can be a bit fiddly to start with, but once you get the hang of it, it's fairly easy. And it's really nice that they included these in the box, because with other headsets you'll find they're an additional purchase. For example, the Astro 50 also has a mod kit that you can add faux leather ear cups to, but you have to pay extra for that. So it's really nice that Logitech's included this in the box, and you have that there. Now what you're going to notice though is that both these headsets lack in some areas. So they have a wireless dongle and they have USB-C connections, but they don't have 3.5mm, and there's no Bluetooth on offer either. So there are other headsets out there that offer a bit more in terms of connectivity. If you wanted to use these on console or on your phone, for example, you would struggle. However, they are both very nice sounding headsets with really nice setup in terms of the comfort. Just really comfortable ear cups. And I think that's important because it's important to be able to wear these headsets as long as possible. I've been using these throughout the day and into the night, gaming and working, and just thoroughly enjoying them. Now, the other thing that's interesting about the G Pro X Wireless is there's instructions in the box for removing the ear cup and then swapping out the battery. So you can long-term change the battery if you need to. If it's running out and it no longer holds charge, you can swap it out. So that's a really nice inclusion in the design of it. So they've really thought about the overall design of it and how it works. You can also see that the headband on the G Pro X Wireless is nicely extendable, and it's a good solid build with that metal frame, and it should last. I think it's a really nice setup. It's quite an interesting design style to it, with the sort of curled cables and the overall aesthetic. The Corsair headset obviously looks a little bit more gamery. It's not quite as stylish. It doesn't have that brushed aluminium outer to it, and it does have that RGB lighting on it, where the G Pro X Wireless doesn't, but it is a nice setup. It has some fairly straightforward controls. You have the power button and the volume wheel. You can push the volume wheel in to switch between EQ settings within Corsair's IQ software, but you do need that software running to be able to do that. The G Pro X Wireless is also adjustable, but basically has the same sort of setup in terms of the buttons. Because it has a detachable microphone, you have a mic mute button on the back of the headset, but that does mean if you have an external mic, you can easily use this headset without having that extra mic to worry about. The microphones are interesting for different reasons. I feel like the G Pro X is interesting if you want to customize your sound a bit more, but the Corsair HS80's mic definitely stands out as the winner in my book. Both have a volume control wheel setup and obviously the power button on the headset within easy access. So it's fairly straightforward in that way, and you also see there's a power indicator on there to let you know how much charge you've got. One thing that was a bit of a disappointment was that you couldn't use the USB to USB-C cable to connect to an Android phone to plug this in to then play music that way. So that's a shame that you can't do that. And as I said, no 3.5mm connection on it either, which means that you don't have the option to use it with different devices. Like if Logitech added Bluetooth and 3.5mm connection to this, it'd be even better. Now the G Pro X, the standard version that isn't wired, does actually have more connection options than the wireless version, which I thought was an odd choice. However, obviously having the ability to go wireless makes it appealing for other reasons, and it is a fantastic looking headset that's really comfortable. So a summary basically is that you have two fantastic headsets. The Corsair HS80 probably wins because it has high-res audio when you're using it on PC. So it has drivers that are capable of going up to 40,000 Hz frequency response as standard, which is twice that of the G Pro X wireless. Also, if you plug it in, you can get up to 96 kHz 24-bit audio on PC. It's also the most comfortable Corsair headset I've ever had on my head, and that in itself makes it a winner in my mind. However, the Logitech G Pro X wireless has DTS Headphone X, and it really has a very nice looking style to it. I found it very comfortable, and the included extra things like the ear cups, the carry bag, and the detachable mic make it very appealing too. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, hilarious, or otherwise. Take a look at these other videos that I think you might find interesting as well. And have a look at the description for links and other information you might find useful. Click that join button to see the benefits of being a member of my YouTube channel. And most importantly, have a great life.